We have been discussing flywheel calculations and so we have been solving some expressions. We have been deriving some equations for flywheel, and we have derived this expression that is we have determined the motor torque. Okay, in terms of load and no load torque. Okay, where J is the moment of inertia and K is the constant, T is the time. Okay, so now let us go to the next case. So in the next case, let us assume load is totally removed. Okay, in the next case, let us assume load is totally removed or decreased. Okay, and when the load is removed and load is decreasing, the motor starts to accelerate. So the kinetic energy is stored by the flywheel. Okay, that you people already know. Okay, so as soon as load is removed or decreased, okay, what will happen? Motor will start to accelerate and kinetic energy is stored by the flywheel. Okay, hence the flywheel will regain its normal speed. Therefore, slip will decrease. That is, d by dt of s will be negative. Okay, d by dt of s will be negative. All of you start writing in your notes. I'm going to ask you to show your notes while taking attendance. So the motor torque is T naught plus Tf, and where Tf is minus J d by dt of S. Okay, so you just substitute this flywheel torque, that is minus J d by dt of S. Okay, in this above equation, motor torque equation. So you will get motor torque is equal to no load torque minus J of J into d by dt of S. Okay, give this numbering. Okay, so as soon as you complete, inform me. Complete this slide. As soon as you complete, inform me. Did you complete? Okay. Now, Tm is equal to T naught minus J into d by dt of S. And we already know S is equal to what? S is directly proportional to the motor torque. So if you remove the proportionality, S is equal to K Tm. Okay, so S equal to K Tm. So you can substitute that in the above equation. So Tm is equal to T naught minus J of d by dt of S. Instead of S, write K Tm. Since K is constant, I have written here. So Tm is equal to T naught minus Jk d by dt of Tm. Okay, so I have rearranged these terms and I have sent T naught to the other side. Okay, so Tm minus T naught and minus Jk d by dt of Tm will be there on one side and Tm minus T naught on the other side. Now I have further rearranged these terms. What I have done is I have sent Tm minus T naught to the other side of this equal, so dTm by Tm minus T naught I will get, okay, and I have sent minus J by dt to the other side of this equal, so I will get minus dt by Jk, okay. I hope nothing is there for me to explain here. By looking at these expressions, you can understand clearly. I have written each and every step here. So now integrating on both sides. Okay, you just integrate it and you will get some expression after integration. So complete this slide and inform me. Very good, completed. Okay, so if you integrate on both sides, you will get log of Tm minus T naught equal to minus T by Jk plus some constant C1. Okay, so where C1 is the integration constant. Okay, so let us assume at initial condition at t equal to 0, so motor torque is equal to the motor torque when load is decreased. Okay, motor torque is what? Tm. It is equal to the motor torque when load is decreased means Tm1. Okay, so at initial condition when t equal to 0, at 0 time, at initial time, okay, at t equal to 0, motor torque is equal to the motor torque when load is decreased. So motor torque when load is decreased, let us assume it as Tm1. Okay, so Tm equal to Tm1 at t equal to 0. So in order to determine the constant value, okay, C1, okay, okay, in order to determine the constant value C1, you just substitute these initial conditions in this equation number 11, okay. So don't forget to write these numberings, okay, which I have given for these expressions, okay. You just substitute in this initial condition in this expression, okay, you will get C1 value, okay. So log Tm minus T naught is there. So instead of Tm, you write Tm1, and instead of T, you write 0. So log Tm1 minus T naught equal to 0 by Jk plus C1. So you just rearrange these terms, you will get C1 is equal to log Tm1 minus T0. Of course, 0 by anything is 0. As soon as you complete, just inform me. So after determining C1 value, okay. So after determining C1 value, you can substitute this C1 in equation number 11. Okay, if you substitute C1 in equation number 11, I hope everybody has completed. If anybody have not completed, okay, then you can type NC. So C1 is substituted in equation number 11. If you substitute there, log Tm minus T naught equal to minus T by Jk plus C1. C1 is what? Log T1, Tm1 minus T naught. Okay, now again rearrange these terms. I have sent this logarithmic value, a logarithmic expression, log Tm1 minus T naught to the left side of this equation of it is equal. So I have got log Tm minus T naught minus log Tm1 minus T naught equal to minus T by Jk. So you can rewrite this log Tm minus T naught minus log Tm1 minus T naught as log Tm minus T naught by Tm1 minus T naught equal to minus T by Jk. Okay, this is what you will get, and you can take the exponential on both sides. Okay, if you take the exponential on both sides of this expression, okay, you will get Tm minus T naught by Tm1 minus T naught equal to e power minus T by Jk. Okay, and later on you can do further simplification for this. So you will get Tm minus T naught equal to, you can send this denominator to the other side of this equal. So Tm minus T naught equal to Tm1 minus T naught into e power minus T by Jk. Okay, so where Tm is equal to, you can send this T naught also to the other side. So Tm equal to T naught plus Tm1 minus T naught e power minus T by Jk. This is the torque equation for the second case. So in the second case, we have assumed that load is either removed or completely, or it is decreasing, so that kinetic energy is restored by this. Kinetic energy is restored by the flywheel, okay, and slip is negative, that is equal to d by dt of s. As soon as you complete, you just inform me. Very good, you have completed. I will check your notes later on. Okay, let us solve some problems in this unit. Okay, see, the load cycle of a motor for 15 minutes in driving some equipment is as follows. Okay, so a motor is connected to some equipment. Okay, so the motor shaft is connected to some equipment, and the motor is driving that equipment for 15 minutes. Okay, for 15 minutes the motor is driving that equipment. So let us see the cycle of the motor when it is connected to the some equipment. Okay, so for among these 15 minutes, for 5 minutes, for first 5 minutes, okay, from 0 to 5 minutes, the horsepower of the motor is 30. Okay, it is running at 30 horsepower. Okay, and after 5 minutes, from 5th minute to 9th minute, okay, there is no load. Okay, so it has been disconnected, motor is disconnected from the load. Okay, so again from 9th minute to 12th minute, the motor is running, okay, with the 45 horsepower. Okay, from 12th minute to 15th minute, again there is no load. Okay, again there is no load from 12th minute to 15th minute. Okay, so this load cycle is repeated indefinitely. Okay, we have to suggest a suitable size of continuously rated motor. Okay, so which rating motor must be used here, we must decide. Okay, so the RMS root mean square value in on horsepower for the motor formula is root of the horsepower square for the initial time into the, okay, into the time interval, plus second interval of means horsepower square into the time interval, plus third horsepower square into the time, and so on. That's all, divided by the total interval of time for which the motor is connected to the load. Okay, of course, in between 5th to 9th minute and 12th to 15th minute, motor is connected to the load, but motor is not running. So we can say it is under no load condition. Okay, so it is under, motor is not running, so it is under no load, we can say. Okay, so this is the question. So the root mean square horsepower is given by root of 30 square into, for an interval of what, 5 minutes, plus no load 0 horsepower, okay, 0 square into, for an interval of what, 5th minute to 9th minute means total how many minutes, 4 minutes. Okay, 9 minus 5, 4, plus the motor is running at 45 horsepower, so 45 square into, for an interval of what, 12 minus 9, 3 minutes. Okay, plus from 12th to 15th motor horsepower is 0 because it is not running, so 0 square into 12 to 15 minutes, I'm sorry, this is minutes. Okay, 12 to 15 minutes means it is 12 minus 15 minus 12, that is 3, divided by total minutes during which the motor is connected to the motor is driving the load is 15. Okay, so take the root of this these values, you will get 26.55 I'm sorry, 26.55 horsepower. Okay, so which is approximately equal to, you can means round figure it to some round figure value of around a 30 horsepower motor you can use here. Okay, so this is I hope you are able to follow. Write it down. As soon as you complete, inform. Completed? Very good. Good. To early morning, I think first hour if I take it will be best. You people are responding very quickly. Okay, it's good. Okay, let us solve one more problem. A 40 kilowatts motor. Okay, motor rating is what? 40 kilowatts. When run continuously on full load, attains a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so a 40 kilowatt motor is run continuously on full load. It attains a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius above the surrounding air. Okay, its heating time constant is 90 minutes. Okay, the heating time constant of this motor is 90 minutes. And what would be the half hour, okay, rating of the motor for this temperature? Okay, so you have to determine half an hour rating of the motor for the same temperature. What is that same temperature? 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, assume that the machine cools down completely between each load period and that the losses are proportional to the square of the load. Okay, so losses are proportional to the square of the load. Okay, and we have to assume that, and the machine will cool down completely between each load period. Okay, machine will cool down completely after each load period. So they have asked you to determine half an hour rating of the motor for 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so rating of the motor when motor is running at full load is 40 kilowatts. Okay, so now let us assume that P kilowatts is the half an hour rating of the motor, just for example, for our convenience. Just let us give some notation for that rating of the motor for half an hour as P. Okay, so P kilowatts is the half an hour rating of the motor. Okay, and let us assume theta F is the final temperature rise of this P kilowatts. Okay, final temperature rise of this P kilowatts motor is theta F, and final temperature rise of 40 kilowatts motor, let us assume it is theta dash F. Okay, so theta bar or theta dash F is the final temperature rise at 40 kilowatts. Okay, and they have mentioned that losses are proportional to square of the load. Okay, so losses at P kilowatts are proportional to P square, and losses at 40 kilowatts are proportional to 40 square. Okay, so write it down. As soon as you complete, inform. Completed? Okay. Now, we have assumed the final temperature rise of P kilowatts is theta F and final temperature rise of 40 kilowatts as theta dash F. And the losses at P kilowatts is proportional to P square, losses at 40 kilowatts is proportional to 40 square. So what about this? Theta F by theta F dash will be proportional to the ratio of losses at P kilowatt by square of the, okay, losses at P kilowatt by losses at 40 kilowatts means it will be proportional to P square by 40 square. So instead of writing, whenever we take the ratios, no need to write the, don't need to write down proportionality constants, because proportionality constants will be cancelled. Okay, so therefore theta f by theta dash f is equal to P by 40 whole square. Okay, so theta f by theta dash f is equal to P by 40 whole square. So theta f will be equal to P by 40 whole square into theta dash f. So what is theta dash f? Theta dash f is the final temperature raised at 40 kilowatts. Okay, so in the question, at 40 kilowatts, motor runs continuously on full load, attains a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. So 40 kilowatts motor attains a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. So theta f dash is what? 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so theta f dash is 35. So theta f is equal to P by 40 whole square into 35. Now okay, so they have mentioned time interval, you have to determine the rating of the motor for this temperature rise of 35 degrees Celsius for half an hour. So T is equal to 1 by 2 hour. Okay, half an hour. So half an hour means 1 by 2 is 0.5, you can write 0.5 hour I can write. Okay, and in the problem they have mentioned that it's a heating time constant. Time constant means capital T is 90 minutes. Okay, heating time constant is 90 minutes. Time constant is 90 minutes. Okay, capital T is 90 minutes. 90 minutes means what? 1.5 an hour. Okay, 90 minutes means 1.5 an hour. 1.5 an hour means if half an hour is 0.5, 1.5 an hour means it will be 1.5. Okay, I hope you have understood. Okay, so take a time constant is 90 minutes. Okay, 90 minutes means 1.5 an hour. 1.5 an hour means 1.5. Okay, capital T is 1.5, small t is 0.5. So now the machine will cool down completely. As the machine cool downs completely for P kilowatts, the equation will be theta equal to theta f into 1 minus e power T by capital T. Okay, so this is time and this is the time constant. Okay, so now they have mentioned here, you have to determine, in the problem they have mentioned that you have to determine the rating of the motor for half an hour rating of the motor for this temperature rise. This temperature means what temperature? 35 degrees. Okay, so this temperature means 35 degrees temperature. So theta value is what? Theta is 35. Okay, so theta is 35. And what is theta f? Theta f is P by 40 whole square into 35. P by 40 whole square into 35 into 1 minus e power. T value is 0.5 and capital T is 1.5. You substitute all the values, you will get P as 75.13 kilowatt. So this is the rating of the motor for half an hour. This is the half an hour rating of the motor. Okay, for the same temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. As soon as you complete, inform me. Did you complete? Okay. Okay, let us solve one more problem. Okay. The heating and cooling time constants of a motor are given, that is 1 hour and 2 hours. Okay. The heating and cooling time constants are given. Capital T values for the heating and cooling time constants are given. Heating time constant is 1 hour and cooling time constant 2 hours, and final temperature rise attained is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, the final temperature rise is 100 degrees Celsius. The motor runs at full load for 30 minutes and then kept idle for 12 minutes. Okay, it runs at full load for 30 minutes. Okay, and it is kept idle for 12 minutes. Means during heating, that is during heating, time constant is 1 hour. During that period, the motor is running. Okay, During heating, motor is running for 30 minutes. During cooling, that is for 2 hours, motor is ideal for 12 minutes. Okay, you must carefully read the question in order to understand the question. Okay, so if you are unable to understand, it's difficult for you. It will become difficult for you to solve the problems. Okay, so you must read twice or thrice in your exam whenever a problem is given. Okay, and this cycle is repeated indefinitely. Determine the temperature rise of the motor after one cycle. Okay, you have to determine the temperature rise of the motor after one cycle. Now, okay, now during heating, okay, what is the temperature rise during heating period? Let us determine. So during heating period, so theta f is the temperature is attained. Okay, final temperature is attained. That is 100. Theta equal to theta f into 1 minus e power minus t by capital T is the formula that you already know. So during heating, I am determining the temperature raise. Theta naught I have assumed. Okay, theta naught is the heating temperature. Okay, so temperature raised during heating, I can say. So theta naught is equal to Tf is 100, 1 minus e power during heating. For what interval of time it is heating? For an interval of 30 minutes. So 30. Okay, so 30 I have written, and it is for 1 hour. 1 hour means 60 minutes. See, whenever I consider t in minutes, time constant also should be considered in minutes. If I consider t in hours, time constant should also be considered in hours. Okay, so I might have written capital T as instead of 60, I might have written 1. Small t instead of 30, I might have written 0.5. I hope if you are listening carefully, you will be able to follow. Okay, this time interval t and capital T should be in same unit, should have same units. If it is in minutes, t is in minutes, capital T should also be in minutes. If t is in hours, capital T should also be in hours. Okay, so remember that. So t, small t is what? 30 for heating, and for an interval of what? 1 hour. 1 hour means 60. So you just simplify it, you will get the temperature raise of the machine during heating. So theta naught is equal to 39.34 degree Celsius. Okay, so actually you have to determine the temperature rise of the motor after one cycle. Our problem is not yet completed. Okay. Completed. Now we have to determine actually the temperature rise of the cycle motor after one cycle. After one cycle means along with the cooling temperature also. You must also cooling time. You must also consider the cooling time. Okay. So along with the cooling time. Okay. So heating time plus cooling time both should be considered. Okay. So for heating time, you have determined the temperature rise. So for one cycle, after temperature rise for the motor after one cycle, theta is equal to theta naught e power minus t by capital T. So theta naught just now we have determined, that is 39.34 into e power. Okay, so the already for we have already considered the heating time. Okay, for determining theta naught. So forget about that. Let us you consider the cooling time here. That is 12 minutes by total time for cooling is 120 degrees. I'm sorry, 120 minutes. Okay, not degrees, sorry. So 120 minutes. So you just simplify this. You will get the temperature rise of the motor after one cycle along with the cooling time. Okay, so the total temperature rise of the motor after one cycle is 35.6 degrees Celsius. Okay, if you complete, inform me. Okay, completed? Okay then. Next problem. A motor is fitted with a flywheel, okay, and supplies a load torque of 1000 Newton meter for 2 seconds. Okay, so we have connected a flywheel to a motor. Okay, a flywheel is connected to a motor and it supplies a load torque of 1000 Newton meter for 2 seconds. Okay, during no load period, the flywheel will regain its original speed. Okay, under no load period, the flywheel will regain its original speed. The motor torque is to be limited to 500 Newton meter. Okay, the motor torque is to be reduced from 1000 Newton meter to 500 Newton meter. Find moment of inertia J. Okay, of the flywheel. No load speed of the motor is 500 RPM and its full load slip is 10%. Okay, no load speed is given, that is 500 RPM, and full load slip is given, that is 10%. Okay, okay, full load slip is 10%. Okay, we already know slip is directly proportional to the motor torque. Okay, we can even say full load torque also. Okay, we can, instead of Tm, I can write TFL, full load torque. Okay, so slip is proportional to KTM. If you remove the proportionality, K is the proportionality constant. Okay, so K S is equal to KTM. Okay, so you can determine the slip by a formula 2 pi by 60 into the no load speed of the motor is 500 into 10% of the it is mentioned here in the problem, its full load slip is 10%, so 500 into 0.5. Okay, 500 into 0.5 equal to K into motor torque is given, that is 500. Okay, and K into 500. Okay, slip formula is 2 pi by 60 into whatever speed that is given here, no load speed of the motor, and its full load slip is given. So 500 into 10% means 0.1. So 2 pi by 60 into 500 into 0.1 equal to K into motor torque is given, that is 500. You will get the K value, constant value you have got. And you already know the formula for the to determine the motor torque, that is motor torque is equal to load torque into 1 minus e power minus t by jk. Okay, just now we have determined the K value, that is 0.0104, and load torque is given, that is 1000. Okay, and you know the T, that is 2 seconds. You can determine the Tm. Okay, you have to determine the Tm or what? Tm is not asked in the problem. Okay, motor torque is also given, that is 500. Okay, so motor torque is given, that is 500. TL is given, that is 1000. 1 minus e power t is given 2 seconds. K you have determined. You don't know the term this J, and actually in this problem they have asked you to determine the moment of inertia, so you can determine J value. Did you complete this slide? If you complete, inform me. Completed? Actually, when I'm explaining, you should not write actually. I don't know why you people are writing. You won't be able to follow if you are writing when I'm explaining. You must listen for 1 or 2 minutes. As soon as my explanation is over, you must write. Then only you will be able to follow. Okay. So Tm is what? 500. TL is 1000. Okay. This is 1. 1 minus. I'm sorry. E power t. T value is what? 2 seconds. T value is 2 seconds. So minus t, that is minus 2 by j into k is 0.0104. Okay. So you can you just simplify this expression, you will get j value as 277.44 kg meter square.